Because of America's focus on sustainable energy and fuel efficiency, driven in part by astronomical gas prices, Americans are taking a close look at electric vehicles, or EVs. But to meet the electric vehicle demand, there will need to be major infrastructure upgrades to ensure that there are enough EV charging stations. That's where Powering Chicago is charged and ready. For individuals pondering the move, it means having Powering Chicago electricians install a basic level 1 charger in your home.
You may be limited by the capacity you have of your electrical service, but if that's not a constraint, what you're really looking at now is your charge times. And most EV drivers do not have to replenish that battery from 0 all the way to full charge.
There's a lot at stake here. Not only meeting the demand of a dramatic change in how and what vehicles are driven, but making sure Illinois taps into $7.5 billion for the national charging network.
Illinois qualifies for $149 million in the infrastructure bill for this purpose over the next 5 years, and will be competing for an additional $2.5 billion.
So the hope is when charging stations are being installed at office buildings, apartment buildings, public transportation facilities, private garages, or car dealerships, those managers hire well-versed, licensed, signatory contractors and their well-trained IBEW union electricians.
Well, I think knowledge is key. Obviously, we want to communicate with a vendor that had the knowledge, and then of course efficiency and timing, and we accomplished all those goals.
Take Ziegler Buick GMC of Lincolnwood, for example. It had an immediate need for a charging station because of these shiny new electric Hummers that just showed up in their inventory. To ensure that the job was done right, Ziegler hired Chicago-based Jamerson & Bowens electrical contractors, which is seeing a dramatic increase in the EV charging station installations that they are being hired to do.
We hope that, as we do with all our projects, that once we've opened the door to a customer, that we stay with that customer. It's one of our key philosophies.
This process requires Jamerson & Bowens project manager Gina Dooley to conduct site surveys to determine a client's exact specifications. For Ziegler, it means installing this 480-volt charger, a level 3 charger, currently the fastest on the market. However, for other customers who may not have the electric load capacity, it may mean outfitting them with a much slower level 2, 120-volt charger with a transformer.
The level 3s are fast chargers. A level 2 is like a trickle charger. It takes up to 16 hours to charge a battery from 0 to full on the level 2 chargers. Maybe 12 hours.
With these changing and burgeoning electrical needs, it will be imperative that Illinois' biggest utility is ready to provide ample electricity to address them. But leaders at Commonwealth Edison know the process will be painstaking and lengthy and may take years to fully execute.
It can be anything from 6 months for a very small project that just requires switching to 24 months or more, depending on transformers that you have to put in or line extensions that you have to do. We also want people to understand that it's not an overnight thing. It doesn't work to just flip the switch and turn them on.
Imagine having to install multiple charging stations with separate panels for each one to make sure Ziegler's multiple EV brands have on-site capability.
A lot of times logistically, or even these buildings are built for service vehicles. They don't leave us a lot of electrical room for another electrical closet. So you got to find the proper location for that distribution panel.
As for dealers like Ziegler Buick GMC, it's about beginning to meet the need of the electric vehicle revolution. And with 1 million vehicles estimated to be on Illinois roadways by 2030, that demand will only increase.
Having an EV charger on site is going to help us retain the relationships that we have built with our customers, not just during the sales process. We invite them back for service as well.
If these dealers and these customers and people that are buying these vehicles don't have the chargers, they're not going to be able to use a vehicle. You know, these dealers need to charge these vehicles so that they can show them, and the demand is there, and it's only going to grow.